Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Canadian Football Central, CFL content for the fans, by the fans. Well, the other day, we were covering another defensive lineman re-signing with the Edmonton Elks, Brandon Barlow. Today, it's Noah Taylor, number 42, 26 years old, 6'4", 240 pounds, from North Carolina, though he was at Virginia for the majority of his time college football. Played 2 seasons with the Elks. It looks like the first year was just some special team stuff, while he had played some actual starting games at D-line last year. 26 defensive tackles, 1 special teams tackle, and 4 sacks last year. He will re-sign with the Elks. No length was announced for this contract, so we can most likely assume that this is a 1-year deal. What do you think of this move, Rick?
I mean, I'm okay with it because, I mean, you gotta pay those depth players.
Yep. No, this is true. And it's one of those things as well. He's only 26 years old, so he's very, very young. There's a lot that you can still get out of him. And so, again, he had done very, very well, both at the University of Virginia as well as at North Carolina. Even in one year, if we looked at like his 2021, his last year of Virginia, that he played for the Virginia Cavaliers in the ACC, he had 69 total tackles that year, with 28 of them being solo tackles in just 12 games. So had done very, very well in that regard. He had 3.5 sacks. Even just his second year in 14 games played, 7 sacks with Virginia that year. So if you look at his stats with Virginia, he had been just absolutely fantastic. And even with him in North Carolina and only 8 games played, he had 14 solo tackles, 14 assisted tackles for a total of 28 tackles, and then 3.5. And he had 3.5 sacks that year. So he had done very, very well in a lot of his time in college. And so I think the Edmonton Elks see that by keeping this guy kind of around, keep him in the system, that sort of stuff, you can eventually have this guy thrive in the CFL. And so I think there's a promising future for a guy like Noah Taylor. I think that this is a good move, all in all. And I understand the vision here. And at the end of the day, like you said, there's room for depth players. It's one of those things where when you make this re-signing, this is not under the expectation that he's going to go out and be a starter every single game he's in. But you got to imagine, if you're a guy like Noah Taylor, just 26 years old, that's going to be the role that you're going to want to fill in. As if we look here, he had played 18 games this year, in which he started 10 of them. And so he certainly got a lot more opportunities, as he had started 4 games in his 2024 season. Again, keep in mind, this is more at the special team side of things, but he had improved a lot. He had gotten a lot more solo tackles, and he had done a lot better in that regard. And so, if you're Noah Taylor, you just want to keep building on your skills and keep moving that ball forward. Again, in only his second game of the season, he gets a nice sack against the Alouettes. He would then get 2 later in the year against Ottawa, 1 against Calgary, and then kind of near the home stretch, he wasn't able to get any more. But the Edmonton Elks are a franchise that are looking to turn this around, that are looking to get back into the playoffs. And so having young talent around that can kind of help get you there is generally a good thing. And again, he's also, like we had mentioned in our video with Brandon Barlow, 6'4", 240 pounds. He's a tall guy. He's a big guy. That's something that not every player is blessed with. If you can kind of teach him the skills of fundamentals and really refine him into kind of the machine that you want, there can be a lot that can come from that. So I think that this is a good move. Trying to see here. Kind of what do you think, like, Rick, if we're even just looking at the situation of the Edmonton Elks, their defensive line as a whole. So who all do they have locked down? Because Noah Taylor now locked down. Brandon Barlow, again, just yesterday we were talking about him.
Brinkman, Smith, Noah Curtis, Noah Taylor, Brandon Barlow,
Is
The
Seresna
big,
locked down or
I
no?
was gonna say the big fish is still out there in Seresna. He hasn't been re-signed yet,
Okay.
so that will be the next. But like I had mentioned to you earlier, you'll see a lot of people um, re-signing all their depth pieces first
Yeah.
because again, like you seen in the other thing that we had earlier, you could turn around and say, okay, well, we're gonna re-sign this person, but now that's a big chunk out of your salary cap. Now you got to decide, okay, how much money do we have left to sign everyone else? That's why you'll see a lot of teams go sign their Canadian talent first. They will sign their depth players first. They'll sign Canadians first because they will want to know how much money they have left to spend on their key talent.
Yeah. But all in all, I think that this is, as is, again, I'm not extremely knowledgeable on him, but from everything I see here, seems like a young guy with some decent upside that you could
I
potentially
would,
get some
I
more
would,
out of.
I would say so. If I had to make an assumption,
Hmm.
I would say he's more of like a special teams depth person. If I had to make an assumption as to,
I mean, potentially. I mean, again, depending on how he's done in the past, but it's obvious that they do want to try to get something out of him in a defensive role. Again, he had started 10 games. He had gotten 4 sacks out of that 26 defensive tackles, so not in special teams. So it's one of those things where, again, special teams is kind of a good way for guys that don't get that field time to get that field time, prove themselves on special teams, earn themselves spots onto their offense and defense respectively. And so
mm-hmm.
if he, I think getting some reps there as well as whenever he is able to get it into defense is going to be a key way in that they move things forward. But he had done decent whenever he did get some time, and so again with him just being 26 years old, there's still a lot of time. There's still a lot of time to grow, improve, and just kind of find that spot on the roster. And who knows, maybe in a few years from now, we'll be doing a video about him signing a longer extension somewhere else, making the big bucks. We'll have to see. But all in all, I think this is kind of there's no downside to a signing like this. This is fine. So overall, decent move by the Edmonton Elks. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys leave a like on this video, share it around, and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, make sure you guys join our Discord. Link in the description below to our Discord where we discuss all things CFL, NHL, all sorts of other sports. So make sure you guys go there and keep the conversation going. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. Peace, love, and positivity to all you wonderful people at home. We will see you guys next time.